Hey everybody, Coach Adam here with another weekly video update. I want to start off by thanking all the kids, the parents, and the coaches who came to Batavia this weekend. We had a great showing, and I was just so impressed with how our kids did, both wrestling-wise and emotionally, mentally. I know wrestling on Sundays specifically can be an emotional roller coaster. And as I always tell our kids, I want them to do three things on those competition days. I want them to work hard, I want them to try something new, and I want them to have fun. That's what it's all about, have some fun. Our kids definitely did that this weekend. I was super proud of them, and I even heard a few parents and coaches use our patented line, "I love watching you wrestle." So thank you guys for that. Thanks to the parents for being a positive and supportive representative of that Fox Valley family culture. And here's to another great week. We got a big tournament coming up on Sunday at our own place, so let's keep that ball rolling and doing what we're doing over at Batavia. But speaking of representing the family well, every week the coaches get together and we nominate a few wrestlers for Wrestler of the Week honors. They get a big belt, they get to wear it around, they get to take it home with them for the week, and then they bring it back on Sunday at the next tournament or at practice on Monday. So it's a big honor, and it's always hard to choose just a few kiddos because we usually do, it doesn't always typically work out this way, but we usually try to do one per practice group. So group 1 gets a Wrestler of the Week, group 2, group 3, and group 4 all get one Wrestler of the Week award. And it's really hard to pick out just one kid per group, but we do our best. And it doesn't always go to the kid who just wrestles the best. It's not like an MVP award for a kid that won all their matches. It typically goes to a kid who's always working hard in practice, working their butts off at tournaments, and trying to get better, trying some new techniques and showing some improvement. Overall, just representing the Fox Valley family well, both on and off the mat, and just go above and beyond in order to stand out to the coaches. So it's always really hard for us to pick just a few kids for that, but we did. We finally managed to get it done, and so this year, our first Wrestler of the Week honors for the 2022-2023 season go to, drum roll, drop my phone. Anyway, honors go to Haven, Peyton, Marcus, and Lincoln. Congrats, guys. Super proud of you. Keep up the great work. But now I want to talk a little bit about the craziness coming up this week. Before we get to the tournament, just a few reminders though. Make sure that you are registering on our website for the upcoming tournaments. Registration is due every Sunday for the upcoming tournament. Some of those registrations, some of the tournaments require us to register directly on Track Wrestling, but that's not coming up till like January, so we'll deal with that when we get there. But just check the emails that Coach Hoger sends out because they have directions on how to do all those registrations on Sundays. Also be sure to check his email because it has things about subscribing to our calendar, which makes life so much easier, and then also downloading that GroupMe app that we use for mass text messaging. I know the notifications can get a little old, but there's a lot of important stuff that goes out there, especially last minute. So please make sure those are some housekeeping items that we need to make sure you take care of. Also, we have some big team events coming up. The Feed My Starving Children thing coming up on December 21st. We're not going to have practice that day. Instead, we're all going to go to Feed My Starving Children. So please make sure you go online and register for that. There's more information on the email. But it's just a great opportunity for our kids to get together, build some camaraderie, and serve others in the process, which is a big part of being champions in life and on the mat. It goes hand in hand with that. So please just check the email, get those kiddos registered for that. It's open to everybody. I think you just have to be 5 and up. So parents, you're welcome to come as well. We also have the Big Dells trip coming up in January. This is a family favorite. It is a tradition that your kids will remember forever. So please, I cannot encourage you enough to come sign up for that. Make sure you check the email because there's a link on there for the Kalahari promotion, and it is on a first come first served basis, and I think it closes December 15th. So after that, the room block closes and you'll just have to reserve a room outside of the room block. So 2 big things, the Feed My Starving Children and the Dells trip. Please sign up for those. Outside of that, it's time to talk about the tournament this week. First off, about this week, fortunately, practice is normal. We have a normal practice week, so that's about the only thing that's normal this week. We'll do our weigh-ins on Thursdays like we always do, so please make sure you're going to be there if you're competing on Sunday. And I know we're waiting on singlets to come in. If for some crazy reason they're not in by Thursday, we will hand out singlets to those who need a loaner for the week. But yeah, we got to get ready for this tournament on Sunday, and it's our tournament. And we always run a great tournament, and we set the bar high for everyone else in the state. It's the first official IKWF tournament of the entire season, so buckle up. It's going to be a little crazy. It's going to be a long day, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. There's also 1,300 kids coming, so we are going to need all hands on deck. So, first things first, concessions. For our concessions, obviously Fox Valley pitches in to buy all the stuff that we need, but also we ask for donations from everyone on the team. It's super helpful. So please check out the Sign Up Genius that is on the email and just pick something to bring, and you can drop it off at practice, whether it's Gatorade or snacks or waters or drinks, whatever's on that Sign Up Genius list. Just check that out, sign up to bring something in, and then bring it in to practice sometime this week. And thank you very much for your contribution. On Saturday night for setup, all the coaches will handle the setup. There's 30 of us, so I mean it's still a lot of work, but between us coaches we'll be able to handle that. But for you coaches, just 4:30, just meet up at the wrestling room on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. But Sunday's where all the fun begins. Whether your kiddo is wrestling or not, we need everyone there to make this thing work. So Coach Hoger sends out that weekly email. Please check the one that he just sent out. It has the volunteer schedule on there. He strategically places people so that you won't miss your kiddo wrestling. So just check that out. We need everyone there by 6:30 a.m. I know it's early. This will be the earliest we ask you to be there all year. But just come in at 6:30 a.m. You can come in that entrance that we do for practices, that athletic entrance, and then just report to the head table, and we'll make sure you end up where you got to be. But then finally for Sunday, cleanup. Cleanup is a huge job. We need all the help we can get. Many hands make light work, so just please plan to stick around and help with cleanup. But as for the competition portion of the tournament, and this kind of applies to a lot of the tournaments we go to, there are a few things I want to make sure you're aware of. Number one, all spectators, they have to stay in the stands. There's only kids, wrestlers, and certified coaches who have the badges are allowed to be on the mat, especially during wrestling matches. So you can't be mat side as parents. And that includes taking pictures and stuff. I know that's tough. Oh, but speaking of pictures, I want to give a shout out to Adrian Sagan and Choya Porter. They are volunteered to be our team photographers, which is a huge help. So thank you. They will be adding their photos into a Google Photos album each week. So feel free to peruse those photo albums, check out any for your own kids, but then also, can you please add any that you took into those albums as well? That is a huge help, because at the end of the season, we like to compile all those and make a big end of the year slideshow, and the more pictures we have, the better. Other specifics that you'll want to know for tournaments. Track wrestling. Our tournament and most of the tournaments we go to are run on Track Wrestling. It's this online platform that will explain everything about the tournament, including who your kid is wrestling, when they're wrestling, and what mat they're wrestling on with the mat assignments. So, Coach Hoger sent out a YouTube video, I believe, on the GroupMe app. Please check that out. We'll probably send it out again. But it explains everything you need to know on how that works. And like I said, most of our tournaments are run on track this year, so you'll want to get to know how to use it. And if you have any questions, just ask. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy, but there's a lot of veteran parents who have been there and done that, and they know what they're doing, so feel free to just ask. Another thing, our rosters are usually posted on Track Wrestling by Saturday nights. So you might want to get in the habit, actually you're going to want to get in the habit of checking that on Track Wrestling just to make sure your kiddo is in the right age group or division, because you don't want your kid to be a top but actually somehow end up wrestling novice. That would not be good. So those age divisions, those groups are tot, bantam, intermediate, novice, and senior, and that's all by age. But then the brackets, those brackets of who they're going to actually wrestle, those are typically built early Sunday morning, and they are based on those age divisions and weight classes. So basically they take all 1,300 kids, put them in these groups based on age and weight, and then the kids that are closest together, they bunch them, and those are the kids that they're going to wrestle for that day. So it's kind of a luck of the draw situation to who you get to wrestle. But fortunately, our tournament and a lot of other ones we're going to have rookie divisions. Ours has them for a bantam and intermediate divisions. So hopefully that will help make things a little more doable. But as far as the Sunday's wrestling schedule goes, so at 8 a.m., wrestling starts for tot and bantams. They will be wrestling in our main gym. And then the novice will be wrestling in the auxiliary gym, which is just north of the main gym. And then at noon, the plan is to start intermediates in the main gym, and then seniors will be wrestling in that auxiliary gym that is also north of the main gym. There is a girls division that's going to be running up in the wrestling room all day, but please pay close attention to the mat assignments on track wrestling, because as the tournament progresses, sometimes the kids get shuffled from one gym to the next. So just keep an eye on that so you know if your kiddos got moved to a new gym and where they're wrestling. But I think that's all that I need to share as far as Sunday goes. I know there's a lot to think about as these tournaments go on, and I know it's just tough. But you'll get the hang of the craziness, and hopefully you'll learn to embrace the organized chaos, is the way I call it. But as always, just like we did at Batavia, please continue to represent that positive and supportive culture of the Fox Valley family. And just remember those 5 words. I love watching you wrestle. I think that's it for now. Please check out Coach Hoger's email in that weekly update for more specifics. But I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. It's good to be back in practice. Thank you in advance for all the help that you're going to give us this upcoming weekend, along with the donations for the concessions. And as always, here's to the family.